Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today in the garden. I have the garden as my backdrop, the mountains or the brush back below. It has cooled down and today actually was not that bad. It was cloudy today and not really a lot of sunshine, so the temperatures felt a wee bit cooler, but it feels really pleasant out here now. I'm in zone 7B in the state of Tennessee, and today we're going to talk about a couple of things in the garden that's just not quite looking right, and let's talk through those things, and I'm going to give you my ideas and thoughts about how to fix it and what I'm doing, but of course would love your suggestions and comments as well. So one of the things, if you're brand new to my channel, I have been gardening. This is my 4th year gardening. And literally before that, I had never put my hands in dirt. And so I purposely called this channel A Gardener's Journey because I am literally just showing you my journey. And I think today is going to be a prime example of a journey moment. I'm going to show you something today. And at first I thought I was going to say, okay, it was a rookie mistake. Hey, Lexi. Y'all. Say hi, Lexi. Say hi. Say hi, Max. Okay, so if you didn't see, we got a new puppy, Lexi. And I forgot what it's like to have a puppy. She is full of energy. Full of energy. Always wanting to run and chase. And I'm like, girl. But she has a lot of energy. But anyway, we're enjoying getting to know her and all of that. So far, so good. But back to what I was saying, I thought about calling this like, okay, this is a rookie mistake. But you know what? There's really no rookie mistakes, right? We are learning. And the thing about it is like, I've never done this before. Like before 4 years ago, I have never done this before. So I have had a measure of success because I have learned over the last 4 years and I'm still learning. And what I want to talk about today is two things. One, we're going to go and look at the corn and talk about it and talk about what I realized and how we're going to fix it. So let's go in the garden. Let's go over here by the corn. Let's take a look at it and let's talk about the issue that I'm having. Okay, so I'm out here in the section where the corn is. I have 2 rows of corn and I think I have about 20 in each row side by side. Now, this is my this may be my 4th summer growing corn. I will tell you up front, I have never had great success. Each year has gotten better and better. And I think last year was the best year, but I waited too late to pick it. Like I had a lot of ears and they were looking good, but I waited a week too late and they were tough, right? So I'm making sure Lexi is not in here. Hold on one second. Okay, so Lexi is still learning her boundaries. So anyway. So what I was saying about the corn, this is like my 4th summer. It has gotten progressively better. But this year, I think I said on a previous video, I'm pretty sure I did, I was like, something doesn't look right with my corn. And I was showing you that like some of these have leaves and then the leaves at the top are gone and it's, I don't know, it just looks weird. So let me turn you around and show you. Okay, so like starting down here, of course, these are shorter, but you see how like there's no leaves at the top. But here, there will be more leaves. But it's like the leaves are gone there. And a couple of you guys said, no, that's fine. It's supposed to be that way. And my only thing is that it's never looked, in the years I've grown corn, it has not looked like that before. So that's why I'm like, this is different. Unless I'm just like losing it. But you can see that I already have some ears of corn and the tassel is brown. Which means I'm thinking it's like ready to pick. So like here, the tassel has not turned brown yet. But like here and here, it is. Right? So like this is taller. This is taller. And you can see like that's tall, short. I don't know. It just looks different than it has before. So let's talk about what I discovered. So I was talking about this on one of my videos and a subscriber mentioned, she said, you said that you planted different varieties of corn. And she said something to the fact of, hey, you can't plant different varieties of corn or it won't work out or something like that, she said. And I was like, oh man, I've never heard that before. And so anyway, I got to Googling and she was absolutely right. And I did not know that. Like, I have never, ever, ever heard that before. So again, we can call it a Ricky moment. I mean, I didn't know. I've done corn the past 3 years. And the thing about it is, I did do several varieties of corn. I want to say I did like 4 different varieties of corn out here. I can't tell you what's what and where it is, like what's planted where, because I didn't even pay attention to say, okay, let me put this with this. It was all corn, so we just planted it at the planting party. But I know there was at least 4 different kinds of corn. I would have to go back to, I may have written down the 4 different kinds, but nevertheless, I planted 4 different kinds, I'm pretty sure. But if I remember correctly, I've planted different kinds of varieties of corn before. Now, the first year I did corn, it didn't pollinate. It was in my mother-in-law's greenhouse. It didn't pollinate, and it wasn't really well taken care of. That was my first year. I was just dabbling. The second year I did corn, I did not have good pollination because I had them planted wrong in terms of, you know, you're supposed to have them in rows and in blocks. Last year was pretty good. But my point is, I have done different varieties before. I don't know that I did 4 different varieties. I might have done 2 different varieties. But it never looked like this, and I didn't even know that that was an issue. But anyway, when I was Googling and researching, it absolutely said that you should not plant different varieties together because they can cross-pollinate and it doesn't yield a good crop. It said if you're going to plant different varieties, then you should at least space out the planting at least by 2 weeks, so there, and have corn that is at different maturity. So that way, I guess, let's say one corn is mature in 85 days, another one may be 110, and then you plant them 2 weeks apart, then they're not going to be at the same stage at the same time. Who knew? I never knew that. So I'm thinking this is what has happened to my corn, is what I'm thinking. Now, in a previous video, I showed you I was starting more corn seed. So what I'm going to do, I know it's a little radical. I'm pulling these plants up out of the ground is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it yet because I just started my corn seeds. I'm going to let them do their thing and get ready to go in the ground. But this corn is going to come out. But I thought the ones that look done, why don't we just pick it and let's just see if there's any corn on there. Now, what I don't know, y'all tell me if you know. Now, when Google was saying, you know, it'll mess up your crop, it wasn't really specific. It didn't say, hey, it's not going to pollinate. It didn't say it's going to look skewed and weird. It didn't say if it's going to taste bad. It didn't really give a lot of specifics. So I guess my thought is, if I pull this corn and it looks right, am I okay to eat it? I guess I am. I don't know. But let's pick one, shall we? Okay. Like this one, and that's another thing. Let me talk about that. When I planted corn before, it's had like multiple ears on it. Some of these only have 1 ear. So again, is that a pollination issue? Like, what is that? What's going on? Because many of these only have 1 ear of corn on it. But if the corn is good and we can eat it, then, I mean, we got something out the deal. But let's pick one. Let's pick one. Okay. Let's see what's on the inside. This is kind of small. It's mostly pollinated. It is pollinated. All the way around. Okay, now I know sometimes you're supposed to press and see if there's some milk that comes out. Oh, yeah, it squirted out. I don't know if you guys can see that. So, I should be I should still be able to eat it, right? Like, I ain't gonna pass out or faint or nothing, am I? Okay, let me think through this logically. I mean, things cross-pollinate all the time. So, for example, if I put sweet pepper next to spicy pepper, then it may turn the sweet pepper spicy, but it's still a pepper and it can still be eaten. It doesn't make it inedible. So I'm assuming that this is still edible. Y'all, this is the kind of stuff to be going through my brain, the analytical part of me. You seeing in real life how I be processing information. I know some of y'all laughing at me. But you know what? This how you learn. This is how you learn. And I'm going to say the stuff that ain't nobody going to say because you feeling some kind of way. This is how you learn. Okay, so I'm going to go through and pick all these ears of corn that's brown. I'm going to leave the corn in here until my corn transplants are ready to see if, one, they're going to produce another ear. I wouldn't think they would produce another ear. But I don't know. I don't know. Let me go get my basket. Let's pick what we can, and then we'll talk about the next issue I'm seeing in the garden. Okay, y'all, I got 15 corn. So if they all look like the one that we opened, we're going to shuck it and taste it and see if it's okay. That's what we're going to do. And then I've started some more corn seeds, and I think I'm going to go by the place where I buy produce sometimes in the summer, like my fruit and stuff, and ask them about their corn and see how they grow it. If they grow it organically, I'm thinking I'm going to go and ask and see how they grow their corn. If it's organic, then I may just buy some in bulk so I can preserve some corn, because that's one thing I've never been able to do because I've never yielded enough. And I love corn. It's just so hard to find it in the stores. That's like, no. Hopefully I can get some corn in bulk, but we're going to try to grow some more corn. I can't wait to see what this looks like when I go inside. Let's go. Let me show you the other issue that I'm seeing in the garden. So one of the issues I'm seeing also outside in the outside garden are my tomatoes. I have not picked any tomatoes yet. They're green. They haven't blushed, but I'm noticing damage, and which to me is early, and I've never seen this kind of damage before. Let me show you. This is not the damage I'm talking about that I haven't seen before. I've seen this before, but like bug or something is eaten. So I've had to pick several of these. There was another one I was going to show you. Like, I got plenty on the vine. As you can see, I'm just waiting for them to blush so that I can pick them. But I have noticed that some of them have blossom end rot, like on the bottom, like that one's fine. But I got rid of, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 yesterday. Here's the thing that is that's throwing me for a loop. Usually blossom end rot is a lack of calcium. Now, every year for the past 2 years, when I first amend my soil and beds, my first fertilizer that I always add in is calcium. I did not do that this year because on my soil test results, it said that I was high in calcium. So therefore, I did not do any. So that's interesting to me. What else would cause, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying this right, the blossom end rot, that's when it's that's when it's brown on the bottom of the tomato. I can't find one now, of course, that I'm looking for. I threw a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. I probably threw away 3 yesterday. But isn't that blossom end rot, and isn't that usually calcium? Is there another reason for that? Let me walk through and see if I can find another one. That's another issue I wanted to show you. Look at that. It's like, let me see if I can pick it. It's like a bug nestled inside the tomato. Look at that. I have never seen before. And then you can see I got some damage there. These are the Midnight Roma tomatoes. You see it's the same thing there. It's like something is nestled in there like a bug. I have never ever seen that. I don't even know what kind of bug that is. Do y'all know? Oh, well, look at this for a commercial break. Look at those sunflowers. Y'all, that is the Orange Pro Cut Excels. My first time growing these. Are they not beautiful? I love that. Y'all, that's why I have flowers in the garden. It brings me joy while I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Okay, I think I don't want to use the word frustrating. I think one of the things that's most unsettling to me as a gardener is seeing a problem and having no clue as to what caused it or what it is and how to fix it. Like when I had the aphid infestation last year in my in the tunnel with the tomatoes, I'm like, okay. At first I didn't know what it was. It was like through trial and error and talking to a lot of people, they were like, that's aphids. And then somebody gave me a solution to fix it. But before that, it's just like unsettling. Like if you know what to do, then okay, let me do it and let's see if it works. But when you don't know what to do, that is unsettling. Am I speaking your language? But being unsettled, frustrated, unaware, clueless is all part of the journey. And so I'm just showing you this is what it is today. Now, everything else in the garden is looking really, really good. I am not complaining. I'm just explaining on these 2 things and telling you why I'm going to do something different with the corn and try again and see what happens. But if you are a corn expert or have had some success, please put some comments down below. Give me any tips, suggestions. Tell me if I picked it wrong, if I did it wrong, whatever. Give me all the stuff. And on the tomatoes, let me know if you've seen that before and what I should do. I'm trying to think, should I go ahead and just fertilize with some calcium? Like, it's not on a lot of them, but I did like 3 or 4. I threw away 3 or 4 last last night and it was brown on the bottom. But everything else is good. They're just not blushing yet, which is not a problem. They should blush hopefully in the next week or two. And sometimes when it gets extra hot, they won't blush. It's like it has to be like the perfect temperature. But you know, as soon as they blush, they're going in the house before some more bugs eat them. But overall, things are looking good. But I wanted to kind of bring you along and just show you the two things that I'm seeing already in the garden around the last part of June. And it's so funny because no matter, I would assume, because I've only gardened for 4 years, but I think that no matter how much you do it, you're always going to see something that you've never seen before, or not quite that way, or not at the same time frame. It's always some twists and turns, and you can do the exact same thing every time and may get different results. Case in point, I told y'all last year, I did not have any squash and zucchini. This year, I am swimming in squash and zucchini already. It is doing so fantastic. But I gotta prune some tomatoes. I'm behind on my weekly maintenance. So I only have like 15 more minutes before the sun goes down. So I'm gonna walk through the garden real quick, pick whatever I can pick before I have to head into the house. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I look forward to your comments, your suggestions, your encouragement, whatever you got. Put it down below, not just for me, but for everybody else in the community. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. And if you're new, which we have a lot of new people, welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. If you have not said hello, please say hello. Tell me what state you're in or what country you're in. I would love to know. And if there's anything that you want me to do a video on, please, please, please put it in the comments. I'm happy to do it. One other thing is that I'm going to start doing some, I'm not going to say monthly yet, maybe bi-monthly, every 2 months, workshops. I'm going to start that hopefully in July. Let me know, and this is going to be a paid webinar, so this is not going to be for free. Free is on YouTube. But this is going to be a chance for me to deep dive into a subject as much as I know and give you an opportunity to ask questions. That way, a lot of people may email, they may put comments down below, and I can only do so much, you know, typing in a comment, but I can explain a lot more if we're on video on Zoom and I can talk to you and hear your specific situation. And again, keep in mind, I've only been gardening for 4 years, but I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Here's my point. If there are some topics that you would like for me to do in a deep dive, succession planning, knowing what to plant and when, fall gardening, how to start seeds, like whatever it is, I want it to be appropriate to the time that we're in. Obviously. So obviously I can do something about fall gardening. I don't know how many of you do fall gardening. If you have a greenhouse or if you have a hoop house or whatever, let me know in the comments any webinars or workshops you would like to see. What I'm thinking is that it would be probably an hour to an hour and a half. It will be recorded. You'll get the replay, all the things if you can't come on the date that I'm having it. But you will get a chance to talk to me live and get your questions answered. And I'm also planning. Okay, guys, I had to come back the next day and shoot the end of the video because my phone, I was using my phone and was out of storage. I remember now, that's why I bought a camera. I have not used my camera in a while, just because a lot of times it's just easier for me to grab my phone. But this is the reason why I don't use my phone for YouTube, because it runs out of storage quick. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to be doing a series of workshops. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see. I'm thinking 90 minutes. It'll be, you know, probably, I don't know, $67 or something like that. No more than $97. But I'm going to bundle some stuff where you get access to me for like maybe the next 30 days. You might have a Facebook group. I haven't quite worked it all out. But anyway, tell me what you would like to see. And whatever you would like to see, I can create. Not a problem. But I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this video. I cannot wait to see your suggestions on the corn, on the tomatoes, and anything else that we talked about. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.